Welcome, Tailgate Legends. Oh my goodness, we are, it's Monday today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days away from kickoff, opening kickoff. God, the summer just went super, super fast. They always do. I know I say it all the time, but um, uh, first, I do want to thank everybody that helped Lizzie and I move. Yes, I am drinking. I do want to thank everybody that helped us move. I do genuinely appreciate it. So does Lizzie. You guys saved us hours and hours and hours of time. So yeah, cheers. Yeah, so we're pretty settled into our new house, and this is my backyard. Hang on, I'll give you a little tour of our backyard. There's Lizzie. Yeah, boom. Yeah, and then it's just a bunch of dirt and a cornfield, so can't really see it that well. But okay, so for today, I have decided on this Labor Day, because it is Monday right now. I've decided to do my team rankings. I did this last year, and I was actually pretty close on most of them. So I'm going to do team rankings again this year. I will say, 100%, there is way more parity in the teams this year. So they were actually kind of difficult. They were way more difficult than last year. I mean, I remember last year going into it, thinking there was going to be a lot of parity. There was a little bit, but I mean, you look at the teams and it was like, well, I had a good team, Burns had a good team, Roofer had a good team, Yacht had a good team, and there were a couple other scattered in there, but I didn't see any real genuine threats other than the Burns and Roofer and Yacht. Now, obviously, it's fantasy football, so anything can happen, but this year is much different. Got some lower ranked teams, but only a couple, and then pretty much everybody is right there. So I did it the same as last year, scale of 1 to 100. If you get ranked a 1, that means that you just don't have anybody in that position. So kind of like Madden rankings, I guess. So how I did it is I ranked everybody's individual positions and then averaged it out, which makes it kind of difficult because you only start one quarterback. So Boggs has Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. But it's you can really only start one of them. He got a super high grade for quarterbacks, but yeah, that's kind of how I did it. So I'm going to start it off, and the way I'm going to do it is 12 through 1, and I'll give you the rating that I gave you, and just kind of think about it as your Madden rating. And I did not include, however, kickers and defenses. That's mostly a crapshoot anyway, so here we go. Number 12, this is who I had ranked as the worst team in our league, the absolute worst team in our league, and I don't even really think there's any question about it. When you go through, I'm just scrolling to his team here real quick. Go through his team, it's pretty bad. It's real bad. And that is Prusky. Mr. Brian Prusky, and I think you already kind of knew this was coming. By far the worst team in the league. I have you ranked as a 69, and you were the only team that I kind of fudged the numbers a little bit. When I average everything out, I round either up or down. And with yours, instead of rounding down to 68, I rounded up to 69. So you're welcome. You get a 69, and that's really only because your team is fucking terrible. Aaron Rodgers is your starting quarterback. That could be okay. And you have Jared Goff. That's okay. Your running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Montgomery, and Cordarrelle Patterson. Those are your only 3 running backs. That's awful. And then your receivers, Devontae Smith, Cortland Sutton, You know, you got Jamison Williams. He's suspended, though. Chase Claypool, not that good. You do have Travis Kelce and Cole Kmet, so you did get a pretty high ranking for your tight ends. That was, like, really your only saving grace. But, yeah, so Prusky is rated last. You got to bear with me for 1 second here. I'm trying not to get this light in the background, but... Okay, number 11, the second worst team I have on here is Evan Sure. Evan, let me go to your team because I can't remember who was on everybody's team, but I remember it was not great. Dak Prescott, your quarterback, but you don't have a backup unless you drafted... Well, you have C.J. Stroud too, I guess. Yeah, that's not any better. But yeah, and then your running backs: James Conner, Delvin Cook, Damian Harris, and Alexander Madison. Not super great, not terrible, but not super great. Your receivers, like, dude, your best receiver is Keenan Allen. Like, he's a PPR guy, I get it, but he's still not anything to write home about. And then you have Drake London, Hunter Renfrow. I don't know. Yeah. And then your tight end is George Kittle, so you got a little boost there. But that's pretty much it. So sure, you were second and you were ranked 73. Third. Sorry, 10th. The 10th ranked team now. Third worst. It's Landon. I think Landon had the worst team last year, so he's not quite as bad as he was last year. But Landon's team is kind of hard to rank because, like, he has Justin Fields, and so I gave him a decent ranking at quarterback. Justin Fields is, as everybody knows, like the ultimate boomer bust quarterback. Justin Fields could get him a 50-burger any given week, but he could also get him like 5 points any given week because he doesn't throw the ball well. We all know that. He doesn't throw the ball well. He can run, but what happens if people, start stopping the run? I don't know. But Justin Fields could win you, 4 or 5 weeks alone, just him. So... it was really hard to give him this low of a ranking, but, we'll see. But then at running back, he has Joe Mixon. Now, Joe Mixon actually wasn't that good last year. He just had a few, like, huge weeks that bolstered, his numbers at the end of the year. But he has Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson, and I actually like that combo. And then Khalil Herbert. I think Khalil Herbert's going to be the starter. He's got Miles Sanders, so he's got options, So I think I gave him a decent rank at running back. And then receivers, you got Marquise Hollywood Brown, pretty good. Treylon Burks could be pretty good. DJ Chark, yeah, we'll see. Romeo Doubs could be good. Chris Godwin could be good. Deontay Johnson, I actually really like Deontay Johnson. And, a couple other guys that are like, you'll definitely have some streaming options for bye weeks and injuries and stuff, but you don't quite have that player that just puts you over the top at any one position except for maybe Justin Fields. But at running back and receiver, you need those top 10 guys, and I don't know if you have any top 10 guys. I think you have a few top 20 guys, top 25 guys. I think you got a few of those, but as you kind of navigate this fantasy football world, just the advice I would give to you is just really try to get those home run guys, the guys that can win you a week, So Landon, I got you at 10th, and then 9th, I have Mr. Michael, there's a few of us, Lemish. I got Lemish next. Let me come to your team here real quick. And this was kind of the same thing, where, he's got some guys that can win him a week, but at at the most important position at quarterback, he's only got Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G, and Brock Purdy. I just don't know if any of those guys are really going to do it for him. Not like put him over the top, you know what I mean? And then at running back, you got Austin Eckler, amazing. You got Zeke, Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Mostert, he's just hurt, you know. Samaje Perine for $20. Good for you, man. And then Tony Pollard, pretty good, you know, awesome. I like Tony Pollard a lot. So I got him, you know, gave him a pretty decent rank at running back. But, you know, then we go to receiver. He's got Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson. Mike Evans, we'll see. Mike Evans could be pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins could be pretty good. After that, like Tyler Boyd, Darnell Mooney, Josh Palmer, I don't know, Michael Gallup. Those are all like wide receiver threes. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get out of those guys. It really feels like if you do a tremendous job of setting the right lineup, it does feel like your team could be a lot better than that. But yeah, we'll see. But I had him ranked at 76. So far I have Prusky at 69, Shearer at 73, Landon at 74, Lemish at 76. And then there's kind of a tier break because my next guy is rated 79, almost 80. And that is Mr. Brandon Boggs. Yeah, that's who I got at 8th best team. You know, we're starting off really strong. He has Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence, and he has the highest graded quarterbacks of anybody. For me, I think I gave him like a 95 or something like that. But after that, it kind of goes downhill. So, you know, running backs, you got James Cook. It's okay. You know, Breece Hall could be good, but I worry about Dalvin Cook. Dearness Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller, Jamal Williams, all the Saints running backs. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out, but, you know, just don't really have any of those top guys, but maybe he makes something work. I don't know. Receivers, you know, A.J. Brown, great. DJ Moore, probably going to be at least good. You know, but then after that, it's like Jerry Jeudy is already hurt. Van Jefferson, he could be the wide receiver 1, but, you know, for the Rams, I don't know. Van Jefferson just isn't that good. George Pickens could be good, but it still feels like he's like the third option in that offense. And then Justin Ross could be good, but again, it's the Chiefs, and they just spread the ball out, so I don't know. And Jordan Addison's there. And then at tight end, Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, and Tyler Higbee. Like, that's okay. You can probably stream one of those guys every week. But yeah, the way I have you right now is rated 79. And that was good enough for 8th. Next, we have a tie for 7th. 2 people at 7. And oddly enough, and I promise you, I went through team by team, one by one. Like, I didn't compare rankings or anything like that. I just kind of went in with my thought process of how I'm going to rank everybody. And, you know, it just kind of played out how it played out. So tied for 7th is actually our defending champion, Derek Rufer, and the guy he played, Yacht. I thought that was interesting. I promise you, it was not on purpose. It just happened that way. You know, Roofer's team first. The biggest loss for him was Josh Allen, obviously. Now he's got Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones. Like, I traded him Deshaun Watson, and I traded him Deshaun Watson because I personally just don't believe in Deshaun Watson. Baker Mayfield does look good. I don't know if either of those guys are going to take him to where Josh Allen took him, you know. And then at running back, J.K. Dobbins, I don't know. J.K. Dobbins is so hard to rank because it's like, is he really good? Like, yeah, I think he's really good, but he just doesn't play because he's always hurt. But then he does have Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Devin Singletary, Rashad White. You know, Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs, I think Roofer actually had one of the Derek had one of the highest rated running back groups of everybody. But then, we go down to his receivers. His receivers are okay, but he's got Amari Cooper. Okay, maybe a wide receiver 2. T. Higgins, okay, probably maybe a wide receiver 2. Jalen Waddle, okay, I love Jalen Waddle, but he's probably a wide receiver 2. He doesn't have that elite guy. And then his tight end is T.J. Hawkinson, and Hawk is pretty good, but I don't think I'm ready to put him into that elite status. So Roofer and Yacht got a ranking of 81. And I will tell you right now that the highest rated team I have on here is actually 83. So that's how close everybody is from here on out. So we'll go through Yacht's team here real quick. If I can find it. Okay, so Yacht. Quarterbacks are just atrocious. Just terrible. Desmond Ridder, Tua, Mike White. Why is Mike White on your team? And Zach Wilson. Why is Zach Wilson on your team? But and then after that, you only have 4 running backs. Christian McCaffrey is obviously elite. Jerick McKinnon, Isaiah Pacheco are on the same fucking team. And Isaiah Pacheco is still kind of hurt. And then Pierre Strong. Those are your running backs. So, you have one elite running back, one or two, serviceable running backs, and then one guy that's just, doesn't mean anything to anybody. Irrelevant. But then his receivers, he's got Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Adam Thielen, and Tyler Lockett. So his wide receivers are pretty good, and that's kind of what bolstered him up there. Evan Ingram, Logan Thomas, decent tight ends. They're good enough. But you also had a rank of 81. So, next, we have 2 people now tied at 82. 2 people tied at 82. The first guy, I will tell you, is Mr. Mike Lloyd. Yeah, Whitey at 82. So let me pull up his team. And so from here on out, I have 5 teams ranked 82 and 83. And I have 7 teams ranked 81, 82, and 83, which is wild because, like I said, I went into this, I didn't compare teams. I just went in team by team, did it, and here we are. So, Whitey, one of the bigger knocks on your team is quarterback. You got Daniel Jones and Russell Wilson. Both of them are probably going to be serviceable. Neither of them are going to be, elite or great, probably. Running backs, you have great running backs, though. Cam Akers, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Gainwell, and Dameon Pierce, and then a couple backups. But love your running backs. As long as, Saquon stays healthy, Cam Akers stays healthy, I think Dameon Pierce will stay healthy. I love Dameon Pierce. I traded him to you. And that was only because at the time, I had many other running backs, more running backs than I have now. But so, and then but your receivers are also really good. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Curtis Samuel, and Deebo Samuel. But then your tight ends, Noah Fant and Dalton Schultz, so great. I love your running backs and receivers. Your tight ends and your quarterbacks, not so great. And both of those positions can be really, really, really important separators, when you're talking about winning a week. So we'll see, though. And then the other team that I have tied with you is Sam and Co. And let me get to their team here. There we go. Sam and Co., like good quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Geno Smith, decent running backs, Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Warren, Zach Moss when he comes back. Receivers are really good, though. Jahan Dotson, I love Jahan Dotson. Michael Pittman, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got, in my opinion, one elite receiver, and then a couple other, like, really good receivers. But then your tight ends are Darren Waller, Juwan Johnson, and Gerald Everett. Well, I love Darren Waller, and I love Juwan Johnson. So, your quarterbacks and tight ends are a little better than Whitey's, but Whitey's running backs and receivers are a little better than you. So, that's kind of where we land with that. And then, everybody can do the math. I had 3 teams tied as the 3 best teams, and that was me, Burns, and Lemke. I'll go through my team first. So my team, I have Joe Burrow and Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love, love Joe Burrow. My running backs, I got Bijan Robinson, Javonte Williams, Jeff Wilson, whatever, and then Jonathan Taylor if he comes back, I hope. That's another conversation for another time, but then, my receivers, I love my receivers, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Christian Kirk, John Mechie, Christian Watson. And then I love my tight ends too. I got, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Isaiah Likely, and Chigoziem Okonkwo. So I love my tight ends. And then, we'll go through Burns' team. Burns, Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, like 2 elite quarterbacks. I don't know why you did that, but you did. Running backs are pretty good. Tyler Algier is a backup. Tyler Chandler is also a backup. But, you got Travis Etienne, Rashad Penny, like, if he stays healthy. I guess we've been saying that for like 5 years now. But Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker. So, I do like your running backs, a lot. But then, your receivers are Gabe Davis, Cooper Kupp. Obviously, I love Cooper Kupp. He's a little hurt, though, with the hamstring thing, so that scares me a little bit. Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, Wan'Dale Robinson, and then your tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Taysom Hill, Jake Ferguson, and Irv Smith. I really like your tight ends. So, yeah, great running backs, great quarterbacks. That's kind of what catapulted you into that number 1 spot. And then, same thing with Lemke, if you give me a second here. Lemke grabbed Josh Allen, running backs A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift. I don't know, I feel like DeAndre Swift is going to be better than people think. And then receivers, you got Brandon Ayuk, who I love, DK Metcalf, who I love, Chris Olave, who I love, Kadarius Toney, who I think could be super, super, super good again. And then tight ends, Pat Freiermuth, who I love, David Njoku, and Kate Otten. So, yeah, I really like those teams. But, so, just to kind of recap here before I let you guys go, Prusky, 69, Shearer, 73, Landon, 74, Lemish, 76, Boggs, 79, Roofer, 81, Yacht, 81, Whitey, 82, Sam, 82, me, 83, Burns, 83, and Lemke at 83. That, to me, that's as close as you're probably ever going to get in any fantasy league ever. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I'm super excited for the season to start on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, good luck to everybody, and good luck on the season too. See ya.